moved to Maine to solve our problems. But from my shadow, this was simply trying to run away. The dark cloud in my heart seemed to be tied to that dark cloud over my head that followed me every which way. Blinded in this fog, I walked in circles, utterly lost, no direction, no vision. Blind like Oedipus Rex, trying to escape my fate of screwing my mother's sanity by lying to her face and killing my father's, trusted me by repaying his warm concern with the deceit of a crooked heart debased, gouging out my own eyes. My blindness was self-inflicted. I never saw the pain I was causing them. But at SUA, I began to write, and I opened my eyes. At this school, which is not a school, more like a boot camp for the soul, or a large mirror, forcing me to see my weaknesses, but more importantly, my latent greatness. I walked the tightrope between the two, a balancing act to recognize the thin line between my arrogance and my confidence. I would have died without the safety net of interconnected relationships that saved me when I fell. So somehow I made it to the other side, and will empower others to have the courage to walk their own path, which will empower others to find their voice, which will empower others to open their eyes, which will empower others. A domino effect, but not of knocking others down, but helping one after another stand up. On Wall Street, brokers invest in startup plans you see, but the promising futures of SUA students make Soka education the greatest investment in humanity on this planet. The campus is beautiful and the facilities are top-notch, but what makes SUA great isn't the buildings, but the spirit that lives in them, the hearts of the people here. So even more than the scholarship money I've been given, I'm appreciative of the lifelong bonds of friendship that have arisen, bonds invisible yet unbreakable, like the gravitational law that connects the sun and the earth, a galaxy of globes, global citizens gravitating with a common center, connected by bonds more powerful than the laws of the universe. So I say, thank you to all you who invest and gave me the key to the precious treasure in my chest, the key to discover where value truly resides. Before I scrounged for meager pocket change on the corner, but now I've come to see that the riches that I sought have always been inside. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Zuleika Shaheen, and I am from North London. I am proud to be the first female Turkish student at SUA. I had two dreams when growing up: to be a singer and to travel the world, working and helping others. My reality was quite different from these dreams. From an early age, I resented myself. I loathed my body and wanted to be anything or anyone but me. I started to transform myself, and by the age of 12, I had simply stopped eating. At the age of 13, I was only 5'3" in height and weighing only 50 pounds. At 17, I finally received help with my eating disorder and soon left home. I began working on an undergraduate degree, but quit after only 8 months. I embarked on a successful modeling career that led to an opportunity to star in the UK's biggest TV show. This led to many opportunities in fashion, music, and entertainment. I had what some think is it all: fame, fortune, but I was not happy. I was crumbling inside, drinking heavily and engaging in substance abuse. I believed I could party my suffering away. I have left out one integral part of my life. When I was born, there was an ambiguity as to my gender. My parents believed they had given birth to their first son. They did not realize I was, in fact, their daughter. So, if you can imagine my life in this context, you might better understand my desire to transform my body. It was the basis for my self-destructive actions. Blood tests revealed that I had a hormonal imbalance, confirming what I already knew to be true in my heart. At age 19, my true identity began revealing itself, and I was officially diagnosed as transgendered. Following a number of surgeries and a lot of soul searching, I proudly stand before you as the woman I have become. I went on to make amends with my parents, and now we are on wonderful terms, and I cherish our mother-daughter relationship. After years of partying and substance abuse and a number of significant destructive relationships, I found myself financially ruined and in debt. I filed for bankruptcy. I picked myself up enough to continue through with my determination to gain an education. I felt I needed something that transcended my past experiences, and I wanted to gain an academic foundation which I could use as the basis for my future work. I was fortunate enough to meet with a former SUA graduate who suggested SUA would be perfect for me because of the way they value every single individual. She went on to support me throughout the application process, but advised me not to get my hopes up about having my application accepted. With everything I have been through in my life, I believed there was a reason for all of my suffering, and had a newfound conviction in my heart as I sent off the application. I spent 3 months in South Africa volunteering with organizations related to HIV and AIDS, and worked in an orphanage as I awaited the response. I used this time to strengthen my conviction and my desire to come to SUA. I was elated when the acceptance letter arrived. I now stand proudly before you as a member of the class of 2014. I have learned to read and write Chinese and have improved greatly my ability to speak the language. In my freshman year, I obtained the maximum GPA of 4.0, and last month I received the Merit Scholarship. I was involved in a learning cluster with my fellow students to Guatemala last January. This summer, I spent 1 month in the People's Republic of China working on a research project investigating young women and their connection to the fashion and beauty industry. My goal is to eventually study law, with an emphasis on constitutional, immigration, and human rights law. I am slowly but surely becoming a global citizen. Through my struggles, I have developed my compassion for the struggle of others. I hope to make a difference in this world based upon my experiences relating to gender, sexuality, and women's rights. I hope someday to be sitting in your seats as an accomplished alumni and a donor, helping future youth realize their potential. I had the determination, but you, the donors, have given me the access to realizing my ultimate dream. Size daja. Size çok teşekkür etmek istiyorum.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Gianni Vernon Reynolds. I like math and numbers. However, you would never know that to be the case based on my early school records. They tell another story. How numbers work and how straightforward they are amuses me. I hope you find my numbers amusing also. 1 is the number of parents I was raised with. Sadly, to this day, I stand before you, a 21-year-old man who has never met his father. 5 is the age I was when I was first kicked out of school in Florida. 3 is the amount of times I was suspended in middle school, all by the time I was 13. At this time, I was what you could call a potentially at-risk youth. My teachers doubted me. Some of my family members doubted me. My friends were all headed in the wrong direction, and so was I. 7, the number of gang members who jumped me one day as I was walking home from school. By the grace of God, a black and white car drove by which they thought were police officers. I looked up only to see them put the gun back in the bag while they jetted away. The next day, I went to school and was told by some of my fellow students that the gang members weren't done with me. They wanted my life. There was a plan to kill me that day after school. Immediately, I was taken out of school and moved to Sacramento. The experience of being jumped by a gang was my first taste of how hate divides people. With no warning or with no time to say goodbye, I was quickly removed from my friends, from my family, from my entire life, all because a group decided that I was a good target. 14, the age I was when I first came to my second period PE class to find the word nigger written on my locker. 2.5, the highest GPA I ever had during my first 3 years of high school. 6, the amount of classes I failed during my high school years. Ladies and gentlemen, I was a failure. I was a dumb, lazy, at-risk kid who was on the road that would only keep the circle of ignorance and violence going. And then, in October of 2007, I got an athletic recruiting letter from Soka University. From the moment I walked onto the campus, saw Founders Hall, and the beautiful fountain, I knew this place was different from the rest of my life. I went on a tour, spoke with the coaches, and then I chose Soka University as the place not to only continue my track and field career, but start over in life. Ladies and gentlemen, let me give you some new numbers. 3, the amount of weeks I spent in Brazil making a documentary that is currently being edited to possibly air on PBS. 3.131, my GPA last semester, while taking and passing 16 units, 10 of which were upper division classes. 5, the amount of months I spent in Japan where I not only studied abroad, but was able to volunteer to teach Japanese children English. Now, with great confidence and a feeling of accomplishment, I can tell each and every one of you that with only 4 semesters of instruction and many nights of studying and practicing with my roommate, watashi ga nihongo hanashimasu. 5, my current ranking and place I took this past May at the NAIA Outdoor National Championships, where I ran a 46-second 400 meter. You are looking now at a 3-time NAIA All-American, a 2-time Cal Nevada champ, a 6-time national track and field qualifier. Through dedication and hard work, the SUA coaches and I have recently set our eyes on a new goal: competing at the 2012 U.S. Olympic Trials. I am a young black man who will be graduating this May 2012 from a 4-year accredited university ranked by U.S. News and World Report as 64th in the nation and 9th on the West Coast. Ladies and gentlemen, I am a winner, but more importantly, I am a student of Soka University of America. The coaches, the faculty, and the staff of this university didn't see a failure. They saw potential. They didn't see a loser, more they saw a laser. I, just like every student before me and the current students here, are beams of light that will burn through all battles and break through anything as we go into the sky to shine so bright that the world will be forced to see us. My professors here were able to show me love, show me compassion, and show me how to use my knowledge, my passion, and even my anger for good. My education here, my future, my life is owed to each and every one of you donors, who through your support make it possible for me to attend this university. We may be the lasers, but you are the on switch. Without you, we could not shine. You give us the power, the energy. Your generous donations act as the catalyst for all of us lasers. So thank you. Thank you for taking my losses and turning them into wins. Thank you for taking my negatives and turning them into positives. Thank you for giving me something I will always be able to count on: a first-class education. Thank you.